Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the show. This is Reservations, and I'm Jeremy Blair.
You know, man, you're my best friend, and I'm going to be there for you, but I'm not going to come for you. And I'm Rain Whalen. Shout out to Curry Barker and Cooper Thompson. That's a bad idea. I think that's one of my favorite skits they've ever done. Like, I came for you, man. What? Why would you do that? What, man? Like, I came for you. No, don't do that. And then you're telling me you wouldn't come for me? No, absolutely not. It's one of my favorite bits. And I've been trying to find one where, like, what? Why do you want me to come? Like, come on, man. Everyone wants you to come. Why does everyone want me to come? Like, I've been trying to find that one forever because I found the audio, but it's one of my favorite bits. Or the I'm sure you've seen the one where you can't leave a negative tip.
Oh,
I
yeah.
can't afford to pay for the meal. Like, okay, well, you can't leave a negative tip. I just did.
Yeah.
Like, it's so good, dude. Which, before it brings me into my segue of Curry Barker, I think you had something you wanted to remind everyone again.
Yes, of course. I do want to remind everyone that we are hawking watches. So, no, but for real. So, Freestyle Watches, of course, has let us be a brand ambassador. And so every episode, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about Freestyle. Today, I'm wearing my wife's...
it's so small on your wrist.
I know. Cabo Mini, baby. We're talking about. Talking Cabo Mini. Yeah. This thing rocks. It is the leash version. So it's not the clip like my other one is. And it's really cool because it sandwiches the Velcro. So yeah, you see what I mean? So it's boom, boom. So it keeps it more secure on your wrist. So
see,
that's pretty cool.
I'm not gonna lie, I was trying to figure out how that worked, you know?
Yeah. That's how it works. So freestyleusa.com. Use promo code Reservo7 for 10% at checkout, and I will be wearing this for the duration of the episode. This isn't awesome. Just a bit for the opening, ad, if you will. Even though, like, whatever, they don't give us money or free stuff. We do get money if you use the code. It's not very much. So, So far, my wife is the only one to use it, and it was for this watch specifically. So, yeah. Anyway, use it or don't. We don't care, but we do love Freestyle watches. They're awesome. Lots of different colors and styles to choose from. So they also have hats, t-shirts, whatever. So go check out freestyleusa.com. And again, use promo code Reservo7 at checkout. 10% off.
Yeah, I need to hop on that and get a new band for my Apple Watch for our Disney trip that's coming up pretty soon. And everyone, Reservo7 at checkout, and that'll help us out. But again, we don't get anything for free. We're not paid. I mean, we are paid, but we don't get anything for free. So it's not not a big deal. But use it, but don't. It's okay, but use it. So with me bringing up Curry Barker, I was like, I got to bring up Curry Barker in some way. And I was like, yeah. So from the last time we recorded to now, I have finally seen Obsession.
Nice.
Dude.
It's so good. I know.
So good. It is so rad. I absolutely love that this film was made for under $1 million. Curry did not, what's the word I'm looking for? He didn't, he didn't change his vision of the film. This is the film he knew he wanted to make.
Yeah.
As we were talking about off mic, he was offered, $2 million to rewrite the script and make Bear more likable. And he chose not to do that, which thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God. No, Bear is to call him the greatest horror villain would be
a little hyperbolic, I would say.
Would be hyperbolic, and also I don't want to give him that title because Bear's the worst.
He is the worst. I mean, Bear sucks.
He's the worst. But the movie was great.
Awesome.
It literally made my skin crawl because it's so icky that Curry takes this idea of a toxic relationship and obsession and just cranks it to 11. And I loved it. I told Ashley that the 4K disc is in my Amazon cart, and I will buy it maybe after my next paycheck because I gotta have it. Well, by the time my next paycheck rolls around, it should be out. So,
yeah, I mean, and I checked because, like, I don't know if you do this as much as I do, but whenever like a movie comes out that I really, really like, I'm hoping that the physical media release has commentary, and this one does. So Obsession has commentary with Curry Barker, so that's gonna be sweet. Because I love director's commentary. So yeah.
And this is also, I'm going to use this as a quick little PSA. We've talked about this a lot on the show. Before we get into, well, actually, I want you to tell a story of what happened over 4th of July weekend, and then we'll get into the episode. But just a quick PSA, everyone. We've said it numerous times on the show, like, watch movies however you want to watch them. However, I am going to get on my soapbox real quick and just say, buy physical media, though. I'm sure as many people heard, Sony announced that they're not going to do. Hopefully, they'll get enough pushback, but Sony is no longer going to do physical games anymore. And if they're going to do no more physical games, then I guarantee that's going to move over into film and TV. I mean, we already know that streamers hardly ever put out their content physically.
Yeah.
So support physical media in any way you can. If you can't afford it, hit up a local, used bookstore or a used video store. Just buy physical media. Show these corporate shells that we still care about physical media.
Absolutely.
Shout out to Criterion for setting a gold standard. I don't think they will ever stop doing physical media. Thank Christ.
Yeah, I know, right?
But show them that you do still care about physical media. But yeah, that's just my quick little PSA. Again, watch movies however you want to watch them. If you want to rent them digitally or buy them digitally, that's fine. Watch them on a streamer, that's fine too. But buy it physically. There's something so tangible about putting in a disc. Yeah. Before I let you tell your story, I mentioned last week that I think I've already started rewatching Frasier, and I have the entire series on DVD. And the other day I went through it because I felt like I was missing discs. It's not missing discs. Shout out to Half Price Books. They were just out of order. And so I sat there for a good 5 minutes and just reordered all the discs. But after I got done, I was like, instead of watching this on Hulu, even though I love that Hulu has it, I should just be putting them in. And I think once I'm done with season 1, I'm almost done with season 1 on Hulu. I think I'm just going to continue it on DVD and just pop them all in.
Yeah.
But yeah, everyone, that's my PSA, my TED Talk. Buy physical media. That's a hard stop on that. I will die on that hill. I told Mom that when Supernatural left Netflix. She was like, well, what do I do? I'm like, I guess you're going to have to buy it physically then.
Yeah.
And she was like, but it's so expensive. I'm like, well, welcome to my dilemma.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to have to buy it physically. Which I made the mistake of telling.
It depends. Like, it doesn't have to be that expensive. Like, if you want to play the long game, just check out thrift stores, Goodwills. I found a lot of success in antique malls. A lot. It sounds counterintuitive because DVDs. I mean, it jokingly, I guess they would be antiques, but people really do sell all sorts of stuff in antique malls, not just old stuff. So because it's all individual booths and people run their own stuff. So I found a lot of really cool movies and DVDs and stuff at antique malls. Half price books. I mean, they're amazing.
Yeah. I'm about to do that with Doctor Who because I guess the BBC didn't want to renew their streaming rights with HBO, so their AMC now owns the streaming rights of Doctor Who, and I'm not getting an AMC subscription. Fuck that. So I told Ashley, I was like, pretty soon we're gonna need to go to Not Hastings so I can see their Doctor Who situation.
Yeah,
because fuck that. Like I'll buy them all again. But yeah, buy physical media. Any way you can.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So Jeremy, before we get into today's episode, you need to share this story with the audience because I mean I do hate it for you. That really sucks.
Yeah.
But it's so fantastical that you have to tell everyone.
Fine. Sorry, Zach. It's a long intro. I'm so sorry. Okay. So this weekend we went to the lake. We went camping with my wife and her family. And we went out on the boat. He has a pontoon boat. And so my in-laws, they have a pontoon. So we went out there. We're having some fun. Every year they have a fireworks show on the lake. And so it's really cool when you're on the water because the fireworks seem a lot closer. So we did that. It's about 10:30. We were on our way back to the dock. And so we're all on the boat. So it's myself, it's Haley, it's Maya. So my family's there. And then her little sister and her mom and her dad. And her second cousin? I don't know. It's weird. It's like it's her cousin's kid. Second cousin, I guess. Is with us. He loves camping. This guy. He's hilarious too. Anyway, he's 11. Anyway, so we're on this pontoon and we're going back to the dock, and there's a rule on the lake where you can't have your lights on the boat because it'll blind other boats, right? And so to be courteous, you just turn your lights off and you just, it's not that dark, right? But a wake boat or like a wave runner, whatever you want to call them, they are boats that are specifically designed to create waves behind them so that people can surf and wakeboard and whatever behind them, no matter the condition of the water, right? And it can be turned on and off. And so a wake boat caught out in front of us. We did not see, and they still had their wake on. And so huge waves they were making, right? And we hit it head on. And we couldn't see it, obviously, because it's so dark. You can't see the water in front of you. And so we hit it. We go nose down into the water. Half of the water, I would say up to my waist, probably, because I was up at the front, hit the boat. And so once we landed back up on top, we noticed that half the stuff is gone off the boat, right? Bags, stuff, whatever. And my phone happened to be in one of the bags that fell in the lake. And so I grabbed the bag because it was floating. Thank God. It's one of those knockoff, what do you call those? Not bento bags. Maybe it is. They're like the big, thick, like rubbery plastic bag, right? So we had bought one of those at Walmart, super cheap. It was awesome. And it floats. So I grabbed that really quickly because my phone was in it. Not anymore. And so I was like, God damn it, my phone's gone. That really sucks. And, we lost 2 towels. We lost, my father-in-law lost the anchor to the boat. I mean, it unbolted the seats in the front. Like, that's how hard we hit the wave, right?
Jesus.
And so, I know. So we're going around, we're spotlighting with this nice flashlight he had, trying to find other stuff. We find my wife and my daughter's Owalas that are out. They float also, which is really cool. We find like other stuff, like odds and ends that we find, but of course my phone is at the bottom of the lake. And we confirmed that by going on the Live 360 that our family shares, and it says I'm in the middle of the lake. And so that super sucks, right? Because I just got that phone, man. We just upgraded. I had been like putting off upgrading my phone for a while, and we finally did it last month, and now it's in the middle of the lake. And so today we spend so much money that we don't really have. I mean, it's in our savings, but whatever. On a new phone for myself. So I have this new phone without a case at the moment, but working on that. Jesus, man.
Dude.
Yeah.
Well, you know, in your defense, at least it wasn't your fault.
No,
you
it was
know?
not my fault. Like I made sure, like, because I told her as soon as like it was confirmed gone, I was like, "Can you text my parents? Text Rain, text Kale." I don't have my phone, and because I knew she had your number, Zach. I'm so sorry, she doesn't have your number, so I couldn't ask her to tell you.
Oh, that's my bad. I have Zach's number. I probably could have been like, "Hey, bud."
Oh yeah, no, it's cool. And I was like, just tell them, but don't just say my phone's in the lake. Like they'll think I dropped it. I didn't drop it. You know, we almost died.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Haley regaled me with a shortened version of the story. I was like, oh shit. Yeah. So I told her, I don't know if she told you that when y'all go to AT&T, tell them that a gorilla stole it.
Okay.
I mean, it's either your life or the phone. And you were like, hey, you can take some selfies with this, man. Here you go. And he was like, I bet.
Yeah.
Like, holy Jesus.
And that gorilla was Harambe. Anyway.
He came back to life just to steal your 17 Pro. And then he went back to heaven where he belongs.
God, I know. It was the first time I've ever had like a really like fancy phone. Because usually I get like the regular, like I did this time. But I got the Pro that time, and I was like, oh, this is fun to have like all these cameras on the back.
Yeah. Well, and you know, this leads into mine, which you also mentioned because you kind of said you wanted to mention it just real quick. While that was going on for you, I was watching Banana Ball.
Yeah.
Which was so much fun, dude.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Rockhound Stadium here in Midland for hosting them. It was so much fun. It was so rad.
Yeah. I mean, I'm glad you had fun. So, okay, this is gonna say okay. It's not for me, but I've seen 2 games so far, and I'm gonna have to see another one because we had won the lottery again, and so we got tickets, and our friends really wanted to go, and I'm just, I mean, I'm over it. I have nothing against Banana Ball. You know, a lot of people are like super cynical about it, and they're like they're ruining baseball, and they're tainting the tradition. I don't believe that. You know,
no, I neither do I.
Exist. They're doing great. It is wildly entertaining. It is the exact opposite of everything I love about baseball, which is quiet, patience, just it is so bombastically loud, and consistently loud. Like it never stops. The music never stops. When someone goes up to bat, when someone hits, someone runs the bases, there is music playing. I mean, it is loud. At least when I've gone to the Rough Riders.
No. It was nonstop. And then they filmed 2 TikToks live. Like I went back to the teams, the Party Animals and the Texas Tailgaters.
Seen them.
And they posted them. And I was like, hey, I witnessed that live, bro. I don't know. I just, to be honest, like I love baseball in all its forms.
Sure.
And this was something new for me. And like, I enjoyed that, a bit of showmanship was like kind of necessary for this version. It took me a minute to figure out the point system because the Party Animals, shout out to the Party Animals. This is a Party Animals household. But they got 2 runs in the first inning, and then I look at the points and it says only 1. I'm like, but that doesn't make any sense. And no fault of the announcer for the Texas Tailgaters. I don't know his full name. I just know his nickname is Rhinestone.
Cool nickname.
He went through the list of rules of Banana Ball, and I couldn't hear him. And so I eventually had to look them up, and I was like, oh, that's how it works.
Yeah, it's a little complicated because it is different, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, credits where credit's due. I mean, they have created something for people who don't like baseball, wish it was more exciting, wish it was more entertaining, I guess, or wished it was more predictable in its time length, because they are very strict about this is going to last 2 hours no matter what. And and that, you know, cool. You know what I mean? Like, there's no extra innings, there's none of that, you know, if you're not into that. You know,
I think they said they can, if, like, I think it's tied, then it'll go into extra innings, but that's rare. But the one takeaway for me is that Ashley enjoyed it, and Ashley does not like sports. She was asking me like certain questions, because I'm not going to go into the specifics because we do need to get the episode started. But, you know, there are certain things about Banana Ball that are similar to baseball, like outs and things like that. And she would lean over and be like, okay, why is he out now? I'm like, well, this is what that. Right. But she still was like having the time of her life.
Right.
And like, and, you know, for me, I was like, you know what? I think we found your sport. Like, you may not fully get it, but I guess we got to start seeing Banana Ball now. And, you know, it was rad. I had so much fun. Of course, I haven't been to a baseball game in forever either. Yeah. So, but yeah, sorry that you lost your phone. I was having a lot of fun. Yeah, when I woke up that morning.
How much was that jersey?
So yeah, I got a jersey, everyone, and I got Ashley got a shirt, and I got a headband, because it was also so fucking hot.
Yeah.
I was wearing my UNT hat that I bought for Ashley's graduation.
Cool.
And I was like, I need this off my head.
Yeah.
Like, that's how hot I was getting, is where I didn't want a hat anymore, which is rare for me. But my hair was also, I could feel my hair like starting to like stick to my forehead.
Gross.
I was like, I need this off. And so I'd seen a couple people walking around with bright pink, like, kind of headbands. And I was like, that's what I need right now. And so altogether, that was about $150.
Yeah.
Because the shirt and the jersey we bought before we went in.
Oh, okay.
That was because they had like a tailgate before we were allowed to go in. They didn't open the gates till 5:20.
Okay.
So we stayed outside in the hot ass sun for like 45 minutes.
Of course.
But that was 120. And then when we got in, I bought the headband separately. And that was 25. So,
well, I will say that, I mean, no matter what, these guys make so much money off merch. Because when we've gone twice now. Again, we're going on a third time. Whatever, who cares? Everyone is wearing their merch. I mean, it's nuts. Yeah. I'm like,
yeah, dude.
They're not even actually. It's so crazy. It's such a new thing, you know. Like this, none of this existed like 8 years ago.
Yeah. You know? What's crazy is, even though this was I'm assuming this was more. Hang on, everyone. We're gonna get in. This is the last thing I'm gonna say about Banana Ball. This was clearly a Texas Tailgaters thing. I saw more people wearing Party Animal merch than Texas Tailgaters. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I really regret not getting the hot pink sleeveless jersey. I got the black one.
Black one's more versatile, I guess.
But I got the pink headband. So,
thank God.
You know, yeah. So it counteracts, you know. But yeah, man, I enjoyed it. Yeah. I'm sorry you lost your phone. That sucks, major weenie.
That's all right.
But hey, we're gonna talk about a really fun movie today, which should hopefully take your troubles away. So everyone, for those of you who did tune in last week, because Ghost in the Shell did pretty good. It did pretty good. 21 views.
Oh, nice.
It still has not beat Toy Story, dude. I think Toy Story might be our best episode.
That's okay. So think people will buy watches now?
God, I hope so.
God.
This week, we are discussing the 2011 reboot, quote unquote, musical comedy, The Muppets. Not the Muppet movie, because that was not produced by Disney.
Never.
This is The Muppets, which was produced by Disney. This is after Disney acquired the Jim Henson. Well, I don't think they acquired the Jim Henson Company. I think they just acquired the Muppets.
Sure.
And I say reboot in quotes because this is more kind of like our Chippendale episode. This movie is more sort of like a reintroduction of the Muppets. It had been quite a while since a Muppet film had been in theaters.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, there was, the animated show Muppet Babies, but I don't think most people remember that.
I was going to joke at the beginning of this and be like, oh, I watched 8 episodes of Muppet Babies. Like, I didn't watch the movie. What are you talking about?
There was a movie? What?
A movie?
And also, I should mention, this is also not to be confused with the show that followed this movie, also called The Muppets.
By the way, loved the show.
Yeah, the show's hilarious.
Show's great.
We may mention the show, but the show's great. But before we get into it, so Jeremy, as we learned last week, this was a first watch for you. What did you think?
Also a harrowing journey. So Friday night, I put it on. I made myself a little beverage. Okay. I was pretty drunk. I mean, maybe 20 minutes in. Okay. I didn't mean to. Okay, this is not on purpose. Like, I'd put too much rum in the mixed drink. Okay. Like, I got as far as the telethon. I didn't even comprehend the cleanup montage, the Amy Adams dance sequence in the diner. Didn't remember any of that. Right? It didn't even register to me because I rewatched it today. Because we had been camping, so I wasn't here, and I was like, wait a minute, because I knew I had done a disservice to myself in this show by being too intoxicated. Could
you imagine if you had not rewatched it? And you were just like, yeah, I remember that.
I remember that.
Yeah, yeah.
And you talking about stuff, and I go, no,
No, that didn't happen, man.
No
like,
way.
What are you talking about? And I'm like, I'm like over here, like, dude, I've seen this movie at least 6 times. Yeah.
The only other time this has ever happened was Matrix Revolutions, and I did not rewatch it.
No, that I don't. That I don't blame you.
Yeah.
Which is perfectly fine, especially because right after we did Revolutions, we did our 200th episode, which
that's right, we did Batman.
I just remembered we passed 300 recently.
Oh, did we already? That's okay.
Yeah. So everyone, if you've made it this far, thank you for listening for 300 episodes. Yeah. Sorry, we will probably plan something to celebrate that
very soon
later. But I had that thought the other day. I was like, how close are we? We should be getting close. And I was like, oh shit.
Whoops.
We've already hit it.
300.
Yeah, but Jeremy and I will discuss once this episode's over.
Yeah, we'll talk about what to do after that. Okay. So I got way too drunk. And so I rewatched it today. And so it was great. How they got Chris Cooper to rap, good for them.
I know,
right?
I know.
Chris Cooper is an incredible actor. I'm sure we sung his praises during our American Beauty episode. We've never done October Sky, but I think eventually we should probably do October Sky.
Yes,
because Chris Cooper is just magnetic. I love Chris Cooper, and
agreed.
The cameos were all right. There was like. I was a little disappointed that the celebrity they got, we had already met, right? Like, we had already met Jack Black at the anger management retreat rehab place.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, okay, well, we've already seen this one, but that's okay. Some of them are dated. I would say, like, Jim Parsons, like, that's a dated cameo. Like, he was a huge star in 2011. Like, I get it. But any chance to see an Amy Adams movie, I'm going to see. So, She's amazing, phenomenal. And yeah, I mean, like, there were moments that, genuinely so funny. There was a moment when Jason Segel first goes to see Amy Adams, and she's working on the car, and that's super funny, right? But when they're leaving, you can hear one of the kids say, like, "Have fun on your anniversary trip" or something, and I just think that's so funny that the kids are like in on their lives and like they're aware of their situation. There was another one, and I'm trying to think of it, where it was very similar to that, where just someone in the background you can hear something, and it's funny. And Mickey Rooney's in it, so
dude, R.I.P. Mickey Rooney.
Sure. That's fine. I mean, he's done enough blackface to where we can be like, all right, Mickey, that's enough of that. But no, I get it. He's a legend. I understand. But no, overall, it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed myself. I could see how this would reinvigorate the excitement for the Muppets, right? Because it is taking it into the modern age while keeping some of their original sensibilities and humor from the 70s, and while also acknowledging their original run in the 70s. So, I remember what it was. Sorry, it was during the flashback scene of them on Halloween, and Walter is Kermit, and one of the kids, I suppose, 1978.
I actually don't think I've ever caught that.
Like, that's something a kid would say, and it just makes me laugh.
Yeah, man. The thing I think I love the most about this movie, and of course I mentioned it last week, and I know I've mentioned it so many times on the show, is I love Jason Segel, and the fact that he wrote this film and somehow was able to really capture the humor of the Muppets, considering, while yes, he grew up with the Muppets, he was never around in a writer's room with Jim Henson. I feel like he captured that comedy so well. And that was something I loved about it. And I also think it's hysterical, and I love the original Muppet movie. If that was produced by Disney, we would have definitely talked about that one. But
that's rules are rules.
Yeah.
Right.
Rules that I set upon myself.
That's right.
So the Muppet movie. I'll keep this very brief because the synopsis is pretty brief. The Muppets follows Gary and Walter, brothers from Small town.
Yeah.
And they are both big Muppet fans, having grown up watching the Muppet Show. And for the 10-year anniversary of Gary and his girlfriend, oh God, I'm blanking on everything, man. Hang on. Shut up. Hang on.
This is great. Just all this. Her name's Mary.
Mary. Jesus H. Gary. And that's a joke because their names are Gary and Mary. Their 10-year anniversary, they're going to go to LA. And to not make Walter feel alone, he tags along, where they learn of a plot from Chris Cooper's character, Tex Richmond, to demolish the Muppet Studios because the geological survey says there's oil underneath the Muppet Studios in Los Angeles.
So funny.
Okay. And so they have to rally the Muppets back together again to put on a telethon to raise $10 million to essentially buy their studio back and save the day. Hijinks ensue. Ultimately, they kind of spectacularly fail their goal, but the world remembers who the Muppets are and miss the Muppets and want them back. And Tex Richmond, after being having a bowling ball lodged at him from Gonzo, gives them everything back, and that's the Muppets. I just kind of like our Office Space episode, which that's a major callback. Even though I love this movie is much like that, a lot of bits. But I think what makes these so funny is that the humor is so dry, but also witty. Like I was telling Ashley, one of my favorite moments is when they kidnap Jack Black, and Miss Piggy is like, Kermit, you inspire them, and he's like, to kidnap people. She's like, no, to work together to kidnap people. It's so good. Like again, it's very reminiscent of their humor that was in the first Muppet movie, you know?
Yeah, like even the joke in the beginning where it's like, you guys have been dating for 10 years. What do you guys like? That's funny. Like, what do you mean you've been dating for 10 years? Like, like that's crazy. Unless you're my dad. And Dad and Dee, if you're listening, I'm so sorry. Because they did it for 7 years, it's fine. But it's like that's funny. Like that's supposed to be funny. And what I find very unsettling is full body Muppets, like head to toe Muppet. I'm not a fan of head to toe Muppet, right?
Yeah, and they did that in the very first movie, and I'm still not.
Him on his bicycle. I mean, I still think about the technical ingenuity that had to go into Kermit riding his bicycle, right?
Yeah.
And that's in the first movie. And then in this one, technology's advanced so much, like it's not a big deal. Like I'm not thinking about how hard it is anymore because like they figured that out. I don't care. But I still don't like it. I don't like to see their legs, I guess. But there's still quite a bit of that in this movie. Yeah. I don't know why I don't like it so much, but I think it's because Muppets should be just waist up, I think.
Well, it's like the TJ Miller thing of the whole like, but this time you could see the Muppet's dick. Like,
yeah, I don't think you're legs.
I don't think you're supposed to.
But yeah, you're right. I mean, there are moments in this film that are genuinely funny, right? Besides the weird stuff that I think are funny. But like Miss Piggy falling for Muppet Man,
Yeah.
And she acknowledges and she's upset that she fell for it. That made me laugh. Right?
Did you notice that Emily Blunt is her character from Devil Wears Prada?
Devil Wears Prada, yeah. Yeah, gold. Right? That's so good.
Yeah.
And you're right, like seeing these very small cameos like Alan Arkin, Dude. Like that one probably made me laugh the most because it's like, why is Alan Arkin there?
And he's such a beat down tour guide, like
so funny.
They're like, is this Universal Studios? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes, it is.
But they're also. I love that. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying, and I also love that in the very next scene, his hat is like off to the side, like, and they don't even acknowledge it that his hat is now not straight anymore.
There's also little moments that if they're sort of for the audience that at least I think it was intentional and I think it had to have been. There's a moment in the scene that I completely missed the first time because of my cognitive
inebriation.
Right. Amy Adams in the diner singing her song about being by herself.
I know what you're gonna say.
Right. Yeah. She does the fork roll thing, right? From the Gold Rush. It's a Charlie Chaplin reference. The reason she does that in the first place is because Charlie Chaplin Studios in Los Angeles became the Muppet Studio. It became Jim Henson Studios. If you go, I don't know if it's still there, but when I went, like 2013, somewhere around there, Kermit is on top of the building. There's a big statue of him dressed as the Tramp.
He's not there anymore.
That's a shame.
Because I believe Jim Henson, they think they sold the property, and so they took him down, and he is now in an Atlanta museum.
Okay, well, whatever.
So he's being preserved.
Well, at the time, it was still there that I went, and there's still like nods to Charlie Chaplin, obviously all around the building. But it was still then Jim Henson Studios. And so I liked the little reference to Charlie Chaplin. I like that. I thought that was cool, and it was more fun for me because I knew that it's because it's the same studio, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that was super fun. And then there was a little it was like a not a poster necessarily, more like not really a flag either, or pennant maybe, of Jim Henson outside the theater. In one shot of the movie, there's an image of Jim Henson there, and I kind of like that. That they're still paying tribute to, the man behind the Muppets, right?
Mm-hmm.
It also got me wondering, and I didn't look it up, of how old Frank Oz must be. But I guess that doesn't matter. He plays Miss Piggy, among other characters, but and he still does, I think, which is crazy. Which is why I was like, why? How old is Frank Oz?
Sorry, I was kind of curious about what happened to the facility that was once Chaplin's movie studio, then Jim Henson. I don't know if you'll be happy about this or not.
We'll see.
John Mayer and McG bought it.
So far, I'm not stoked about this.
And then in 2026, they restored it back to Chaplin Studios.
Okay.
So I don't know if it was just like they were like, let's.
What a weird duo.
I know.
Because I haven't thought of McG in a while.
Yeah.
McG directed the Charlie's Angels movies, by the way, if people need to know.
If anyone still remembers those.
I mean, I do. I like those. But like the Cameron Diaz, Lucy Liu ones.
And you forgot Drew Barrymore, sir.
Drew Barrymore, I'm sorry. And he also produced Supernatural. Yeah. But yeah. John Mayer, to me, neither of those people seem like really devoted Charlie Chaplin fans, which is cool that they are. I mean, that's pretty cool. But that's interesting. Okay, well, I mean, that's fine. I guess it would be sad if I loved the Muppets more than Chaplin. I don't. So I guess, yeah. This is also my first time really sitting down and watching, well, not really, because I've seen Muppet Christmas Carol, of course. It's so good. But I didn't see that until way later in life. I didn't see that as a kid. I think I may have seen Muppet Treasure Island as a kid. As much as I respect and I like the Muppets now, I didn't really grow up with the Muppets. It just wasn't on in the house. I don't know if my parents don't like them or something. I don't know.
The same. I don't remember ever watching the Muppet Show. I remember my mom showing me the Muppet movie, and I fell in love with it. And I remember my grandparents having Muppet Treasure Island, which I've told Ashley, I'm like, I think we need to rewatch that pretty soon. My love for the Muppets, it's really strange because I only ever remember watching those two movies. And I remember the last movie they made, not the Great Muppet Caper, but I think it was the one after that, Muppets from Space, I think, because it's all about Gonzo.
Yeah.
And that's the last one I remember watching. But I think this movie specifically kind of reignited my love for them.
Sure.
I love the Muppets. I'm very sad that Muppet Courtyard will not be at Disney World when Ashley and I go in October. if anyone remembered last week, I think I mentioned it last week. They tore it down and are now building like a Monsters Inc. area, which is cool and all, but just something about the Muppet Courtyard was so cool. There was a statue, Fountain of Miss Piggy, as a Statue of Liberty. Rizzo, which is Ashley's favorite character, had his own pizzeria, and what's really cool is the neon light said, Rizzo's Pizzeria. But at night, when the neon would come on, certain lights wouldn't blink in time, so it would spell out it's rat pizza. They're behind the Muppet Vision 3D theater. There's a giant Kermit. Like, it just, I don't know. I love the Muppets. Disney, quit underutilizing the Muppets, for God's sake. Please, like, do more with them. Because after this movie, they did capitalize on the success of this movie, and they made a sequel, which Jason Segel was not involved in, which, I'm going to be honest, knowing that Jason was involved in the first one didn't really sell me, even though I loved How I Met Your Mother. I was like, oh, that's cool. The Muppets are coming back.
Yeah.
Then having seen it, I'm like, okay, well, if Jason's not involved in the second one, then I don't want to watch it. And I've heard Muppets Most Wanted really isn't that good anyway.
Yeah, I didn't see it. So
I only know of the meme of like evil Kermit meeting the other Kermit with a hood on, but I will say the one thing that this movie did spawn off, which we talked about at the top of the show, was the Muppets.
Yeah.
Period. A more adult take on the Muppets, which I personally think really pays homage to the people who grew up with the Muppets.
Yeah.
Because it's almost like Disney was acknowledging, hey, this should grow up with you, to put it in a millennial context for our millennial listeners out there. It was like Samurai Jack. Samurai Jack, yes, as it was sort of, I would say, quote unquote, violent. When Genndy Tartakovsky brought it back for its 5th and final season, he recognized the people who watch this are all adults now. We're going to put it on Adult Swim, and it's going to be significantly more adult.
Sure.
Yeah. And now, granted, the Muppets show isn't that adult, but it had more adult humor.
Well, and it was more a traditional sitcom format. It was it was like Parks and Rec or The Office. It was one of those mockumentary takes of, Kermit's the producer of this variety show with Miss Piggy as the host.
Miss Piggy as the host.
And they've broken up, and so like there's all that tension, and all the Muppets work there, and it's funny, and I really enjoyed it. And I was really bummed when it didn't get renewed. Because I was like, what's not to like about this? It's funny, and it's good. And it's, it doesn't take itself too seriously. It's, whatever. It must have been like maybe really expensive or whatever.
Well, and even though I said that Disney's underutilizing them, I appreciate that Disney is also kind of taking swings to test the waters with Muppets. Like when we did our Haunted Mansion episode, they did a Muppets Haunted Mansion.
That's true.
It's great. I would still recommend you watch that. It's hysterical. Although, controversial statement, I do think Gonzo and Rizzo make the better duo than Gonzo and Pepe.
Agreed.
They did a Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem show.
That's right. They did.
Which I need to watch. I heard it was really good. And so, it's almost like Disney's sort of retesting the waters again. Like, do people still care about the Muppets? Yeah. Do they want the Muppets? And I would say absolutely. Give me and Ashley especially, give us more Muppets.
Well, and it's, I was surprised by sort of like the lack of awareness to what works, right? Because what stands the test of time and what really works with the Muppets is, and I'm sure we've talked about this before, is putting the Muppets in something established. like A Christmas Carol, like Treasure Island, something that is familiar and can be manipulated and played with Muppets, right? And so, like, there's always that joke, like, online of people saying, like, if you were to Muppet a movie with one human actor, which movie and what actor, right? And people are like, I think it should be Lord of the Rings, and Ian McKellen is the only human, you know?
or Knives Out and Daniel Craig.
Yeah, and it's Daniel Craig, and everyone else is Muppets. Like, I think that's funny, dude. Like, that would work. People would go see it, right? But I think, like, with this film specifically, I think to soft launch a new, like, a new appreciation and sort of to gain more awareness of this property, this is probably the best way to do it instead of doing another established story with just putting them in it. Is having them be portrayed as people, Muppets who have been forgotten, and need to get back in the swing of things, need to get back into performing and see if people would enjoy it. And people did, you know, as short-lived as I guess it was in hindsight. And I honestly, it's great. I enjoyed it. I mean, I'd probably watch it again, you know?
You know, I agree because, you know, rewatching it, this is I think the first time I've rewatched it in quite a while. And I recently rewatched the original film. I say recently. It's also probably been about a year or so. I don't know if you knew this or if you remembered, or I'm sure you did. Orson Welles is at the end of the first one.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, he's like the TV executive that they.
I actually don't remember a lot about. I don't remember a lot about that movie. Just the, you know, Kermit on the bike.
My favorite joke is in the original movie, which is they said something about like frogs, and Kermit's like, no, that's a myth. And they're like, a what? And he's like, a myth. And then I don't remember her name, but she pops out and goes, yes. And they're like, because he's saying miss, but with a lisp. And then he does it again later, and she pops out of nowhere. And Kermit looks directly at the camera and goes, it's a running gag. Like, it's so good. But no, I agree with you. Like, it's almost like Jason understood, like, okay, if I'm to reintroduce the world to the Muppets, we need to acknowledge the fact that they were once famous and now they're kind of living mundane lives now, you know?
Right.
And like, I love that Kermit's living alone with only 80s robot to keep him company.
80s robot is great.
Dude, he offers him Tab and New Coke.
Yeah.
Like, how does he still have Tab and New Coke?
I think because Kermit refuses to take it, so it just stays on the tray.
I like that Kermit's like, no, not now, 80s robot.
And it's been on the tray since then, since the 80s, and he just won't take it, you know? Yeah, I like 80s robot. But, you know, to your example from the original movie, it does keep a lot of that meta humor and the fourth wall breaking, right? More than I was expecting, to be honest. Like the Waldorf and the other one.
Sattler
and Waldorf. You know, they're like, it kind of sounds like you're saying some pretty important plot points here, you know? And, you know, like traveling by map, gold. Love that.
I also love, speaking of the meta humor, I love the, you know, when Kermit's really thinking about not doing anything, you know, Amy Adams leans over and goes, this is going to be a really short movie. And Jason's like, yep.
Yeah. I like stuff like that, you know? I think it was just enough.
I agree.
More, it would have been like, all right, you know, I'm over it. But I'll tell you something else that, you know, so again, like, yes, the meta humor's there, fourth wall breaking, all that, which is great. There was a moment in this movie, and it's in the beginning, that I was like, I don't like that. Is Walter and his human teeth when he's brushing his teeth? No thanks. I could completely do without that for the rest of my life.
And here's what's crazy. I'm kind of glad you brought that up. He whistles at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
And you need teeth to whistle.
I know. Well, he's got them in there somewhere. By the way, that, you know, so the puppet work in this, I read that they're in the car when most of the Muppets are in the car. There was so much space that needed to inhabit Muppets that the puppeteers couldn't fit, and so Amy Adams and Jason Segel manipulated the Muppets that were next to them. They got to operate the puppets. Yeah, I thought that was cool. But anyway, speaking of the puppetry work, Walter whistling, I thought the first time he does it, or I guess the first time I noticed at near the end, I'm like, oh, did they have to use like a different head for that? You know, and like he turned away and then they just, you know, cut with the same head. No, you know, the dude, whomever is the operator for Walter, incredible work. With the dexterity to get the whistle mouth. That was cool. It's so silly, the things that I find very impressive, but I thought that was very cool.
Yeah. Also, to answer your earlier question, Frank Oz is 82.
It's old.
And he is not voicing Miss Piggy.
He hasn't
voiced Miss Piggy since 2002.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's been a gentleman known as Eric Jacobson who's been voicing Miss Piggy.
Could have swore he did it this time too, but all right, whatever.
Well, and here's the other thing. Steve Whitmire voiced Kermit until 2016. And Matt Vogel is his new voice. And look, I just want to briefly touch on this real quick.
Okay.
I know it's hard when there's an iconic voice for a new voice actor to come in and take on the role.
It happens.
It happens. I mean, take Winnie the Pooh, for instance. He's been voiced by... I had his name right there, and then I lost it because he's also Pete.
Him now it's Jim Cummings now.
Jim Cummings, yes. Jim Cummings took over
Incredible
Winnie the Pooh from... I just watched a quick little video about him today or yesterday. Hang on, shut up, everyone! Shut your mouth. Sterling Holloway.
Okay.
Sterling Holloway was the original voice of Winnie the Pooh, but Jim Cummings, I believe, is just as iconic.
I agree. I consider him to be more Winnie the Pooh than the other guy.
Yeah, than Sterling Holloway, because I think Jim has been voicing Winnie the Pooh since I think the 80s. So he maybe that was a bad example.
No, it's not a bad example at all.
The point, well, let me do this then. Let's take the mascot of the studio that I picked for this season, Mickey Mouse.
Mm-hmm.
Walt was the original voice of Mickey Mouse, and since, of course, there have been so many voice actors, all the way to Chris... I can't pronounce his last name. I've never been able to pronounce his last name.
It's okay.
I'm going to say his name is Chris D, because I at least know his last name begins with a D, who voiced Mickey in the Mickey Mouse shorts. But there's a level of paying homage to the original voice, capturing the original voice's essence, and doing something new with it. Matt Vogel I don't believe is the right call for Kermit.
Damn.
Because it's not Kermit. And I know that makes me sound like a boomer.
What's he doing? Like a Brooklyn accent or something? What's the difference?
Dude, do me a favor and either watch Seth Rogen's Muppet Show special.
Okay.
Which, shout out to Seth Rogen for showing Disney that they could bring back the Muppet Show.
It was very popular. I know that because Sabrina Carpenter was on. That's going to get butts and seats.
Yeah. Seth Rogen's doing God work right now. Or watch Muppet Haunted Mansion.
Mm-hmm.
And Matt, you can hear the difference.
Yeah.
Like Steve Whitmire, who voiced Kermit for this movie, and also for the Muppet Show, you can hear Jim Henson's original voice. It's Kermit. But Matt, and you would think Matt would be able to do it because he's been voicing Kermit for a while now. He's been voicing Kermit for almost 10 years. And it's so distinct that it's not Kermit.
Bummer.
And I've tried to get over it. I've tried to move past it because I'm like, it's okay, but it's hard. Yeah. It's impossible. Especially because I believe Steve Whitmire voiced Kermit. Actually, no. I believe it was still Jim Henson, who voiced Kermit for Muppet Vision 3D, the film, because that was like the last thing. Yeah, that was the last thing Jim Henson worked on before he passed, and so he voices Kermit. Mm-hmm. But again, Matt's been with the company. I believe he's been with the Jim Henson Company forever. But Matt, you gotta, if you're listening,
step it up.
You're not listening. You gotta hone it in, man. I can tell it's not Kermit. His voice is a little too high pitched.
Sure.
Which, I said, if you watch Muppet Haunted Mansion or the Muppet Show special, you're gonna be like, I hear it now.
I see.
Yeah. Now back to the movie we've been doing. Steve Whitmire's great. I love, again, all the you were saying too, because I feel like we're running out of things to talk about.
Well, the story's pretty straightforward. It's it's characters that are torn between different relationships, right? Jason Segel's character Gary is sort of like, should I pay more attention to Walter, more attention to Mary? It's Mary is like, I really want more attention from Gary, but I understand that he has his brother Walter, blah blah blah, all that. Walter wants to step out on his own, do his own thing, but he is so attached to Gary that he's having a hard time making that transition to more independence, right? Like, story's pretty straightforward, right? And of course you have like the whole Muppets are gonna be gone forever unless they raise $10 million. By the way, Fozzie Bear hitting that sign and they weren't even close. That is so funny. Like, the decimal point just moved.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, we weren't even close at all.
Like, I feel better. That is, that we weren't that close. Oh man. And it didn't even dawn on me until just now that Neil Patrick Harris is in a movie with Jason Segel. It didn't even dawn on me.
Well, it's because they don't share the screen together, so I think that's why. And also, you probably were distracted by John Krasinski also being
and Emily Blunt,
the callers.
That I at the end I was like, oh, that's right, because they're married. That makes sense.
Because Neil says something like, I don't even know why I'm not hosting this.
Yeah. Well, at the time he was it to host things like the Tonys, the Oscars. Like, he was a big deal then.
Now, sitting here talking about the movie, I did just have this thought, because you mentioned how the one thing you really didn't like was, we met Jack Black in the anger management control therapy, and then he's the one who they kidnapped to host the telethon.
Yeah, honestly, with a movie like this, it's sort of like, they've established a rhythm of introducing us to people we recognize and to get excited about, like, even unintentionally, I think, because I was excited to see Donald Glover, for instance.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if in 2011 I would have been that excited, or if audiences would have been that excited to see him.
Because Community hadn't even,
the Community
or
was
had just
Community
started.
was around. It'd been around for a couple of years, so maybe it was Community, and he maybe had dropped his first album, maybe Camp by then. But like, I was excited, right? And so like they had already established his rhythm, and like it's really not that big of a deal. But like when they go back to Jack Black for him to host, I was like, I kind of wish it was someone different,
Well, and so here's why I bring that up.
Yeah.
I think therein is the joke.
Sure.
Which is, we've exhausted all of our options. We know a celebrity that we could probably get pretty easily, which was Jack Black.
Yeah.
Now maybe I'm reaching, maybe I'm giving them a little too credit. Like maybe they had Jack for longer than they had everyone else, so they were like, hey, like we're gonna bring you back, and he was like, cool, which I'm sure Jack was like, I'm game for whatever. I get to be in a Muppets movie,
It is his only Disney movie, I think.
Oh my God, yes.
At least at the time.
No, I think you're right, because Jumanji is not Disney. The House with the Clock in Its Walls is not Disney. Goosebumps isn't Disney. I think you're right, man.
Yeah.
But
the IMDb trivia said. So just
could you imagine
what strangers write on the internet? That's
my favorite bit is when they're doing the telethon. Well, don't trust Google, because Google's like, no, Jack Black has never been in a Disney movie, which is total bullshit, because he's in this movie.
Right, he's in this.
But the bit where Fozzie's doing jokes and Jack is like roasting them, indirectly like doing like a tete-a-tete with Fozzie, and it's so good. And then Fozzie's like, hit it. Like, dude, it's so good. I think Fozzie is my second favorite character.
He's great.
Of the Muppets crew. My first is always it's Gonzo. Like,
of course,
Gonzo's the weirdest. Like, how did Jim come up with this hooked nose alien monster thing that likes to do stunts and is married to a chicken?
Well, I do love, by the way, that that was one of the times I laughed too. It's just like he's so successful after the
with his toilet business.
He's so successful, and that just made me laugh because I'm, out of everyone,
and then he literally blows it all to hell after they come back.
Just the prospect of them coming back, he just destroys it. It's just fine. Yeah, very Gonzo.
Well, and what's really funny is in R.I.P. the Muppet Courtyard, the bathrooms were modeled to look like his building.
Great.
And he even said like Gonzo's toilets or something like that.
Amazing.
And I was like, yeah,
that's incredible.
Dude, I'm gonna miss the Muppet
R.I.P.
so much.
Yeah,
I know. But yeah, man, I can feel us getting close to the wrap up.
Sure.
I really love this movie, and like,
it's fun. Yeah.
Like I mentioned last week, like when I was making my list of Disney films, I was like, well, I can't do the Muppet movie. We could have done Muppet Treasure Island. That was a Disney movie.
And Tim Curry, man. Hell yeah.
Dude, Tim Curry. Maybe for sure. I don't know. Maybe we do. If I decide to torture you again and do a sequel to the Disney movies. But I was like, we got to talk about at least the Muppets, like this movie, because it's so good. It's so funny. It's very straightforward. The jokes are solid. And you know what I really loved is when Jason Segel hosted Saturday Night Live, they brought the Muppets out to kind of heckle him a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And what I love is that Kermit goes like, oh, you know, when everyone goes to a Muppet movie, you know, they always say like, oh, let's see the human. Because like they're making a joke of like, you know, Jason, why did you give yourself more scenes? And he was like, well, you know, I am a writer on the movie. You know? And I really appreciate that, you know, Disney did take, I guess you would say they took a risk with bringing the Muppets back, and
sure, at least
you know, it paid
theatrically,
off.
like in a big production, like a big a big budget film. Yeah.
But I just wish they would utilize them more, man. Like, I'm not saying give us another movie, or at least maybe give us a well thought out movie, but like, I don't know, give us another show. Let Seth Rogen reboot the entire Muppet Show.
Yeah.
Like, clearly he knows what he's doing. Now, don't get me wrong. Let him reboot Darkwing Duck first, and then give us the Muppet Show, which he is working on that. But like, clearly his special paid off. It was, Ashley and I laughed our asses off. It was so good. So it's like, Disney, give Seth the reins, let him reboot the Muppet Show. Exactly how the original show was, a variety show with the Muppets.
You know, I don't think that's a terrible idea, because like at the time the Muppet Show came out, okay, in the 1970s, I guess 78, it was pretty established, and it was almost like a different take on a variety show because they're puppets, right? Because by then you had Ed Sullivan, you had Dean Martin, you had Carol Burnett, you know? And so variety shows, sketch comedy shows of that nature were sort of like the norm, right? Muppets come along, sort of change up the way we think about variety shows, sketch shows, whatever. But now it's sort of, I think it's coming back a little bit, because me and millions of other people watch Sabrina Carpenter's Christmas variety show on Netflix, right? And of course the success, I mean, I'm not saying Sabrina Carpenter has to be in this for it to be popular, but she was also on this Muppet Show, and it also did very well. And so, like, I think people want sort of like this back. It's sort of nostalgic, yet it's it can be modernized and speak to modern audiences. I wouldn't mind seeing a variety show. Sort of come back. I would love Carol Burnett to come back and do a show, but without a road crew, then maybe not. But yeah, I mean, it'd be cool for them to do this again. But we gotta see what Disney does. I mean, they obviously don't know how to handle the Muppets, so.
Yeah, that's why if anyone from Disney is listening, which I know you're not, this is a plea. Sit down with Seth Rogen, give him a decent sized budget, let him give you the Muppet Show. Look, even though I know I started the show with physical media, let him put it on Disney Plus.
Sure.
Give him a 10-episode show, and I guarantee it'll be a success. And you can actually do something with the Muppets that everyone will love. That millennials will love, the boomers will love, and you know, it'll bring in new audience, you know.
Gen Alpha, you know.
Yeah, like, God, I want more Muppets, man.
I know you do.
But anyway. Well, buddy, I'm glad you enjoyed the movie. I knew you would.
Yeah,
I mean, I definitely recommend you rewatch the first movie, because the cameos in that one are on another level.
Yeah.
Richard Pryor, Steve Martin, Dom DeLuise, and like I said, Orson Welles. Dude, and that cracks me up that he's in the very end of the movie.
That's awesome.
But with that being said, buddy, what are we talking about next week?
Well, I think, I've made an executive decision on our part.
Okay.
Because I think it's, I think instead of me doing my pick, I think we're just going to go ahead and do the 300th and something special.
Okay.
And then I'll do mine afterward. Because, I don't want the audience to just shiver with anticipation. So what we're going to do for our 300th and whatever episode is we are going to discuss 1975's The Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Fuck yes. Yeah. An episode that has lore within our own show.
That's right.
For those of you who forgot, because it was a few seasons ago, we technically did a whole episode on Rocky Horror. Had a great time, had some laughs, really kind of dove into what makes Rocky Horror so great. Only to find out it didn't record fucking nothing. And so we had to scrap the whole episode because we had such a great conversation about it. At least I felt. And I think that was because we did Beetlejuice in its place, I believe.
Oh yeah.
I believe. I don't remember.
I don't remember.
I'll have to go back and look. But you told me you wanted to do this a couple months ago, and I was like, dude, let's do it, man.
Yeah.
Let's finally actually put out an episode on Rocky Horror.
Yeah.
And you know what? What a great way to do for our 300 and something episode.
Yeah.
Which I think is kind of a great title for next week as well.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Yeah. Cool, man.
Yeah.
Well, everyone, we hope you enjoyed this episode on the Muppets, and we'll see you next week for our 300th episode on the Rocky Horror Picture Show.